day was doing some research and I came across a bunch of elderly folks living the van life way. I want you to think about that. Grandma in a Sprinter van. And, I was just looking at what was going on, and I was just sitting there like, that's crazy. These people, these elderly people, are living in vans. Because I was doing some research. And the elderly people are saying the same thing that the young people are saying. It's too expensive to afford an apartment. It's too expensive to live. It's just too expensive. For $500, $600 a month, I could live in this van. And this is a movement. This isn't a temporary hiccup. Because you have these two demographics that are moving rapidly toward the same place for the same reasons. Because, they were talking about, your consumption and your output. And a lot of people are resorting to living in vans. Married couples living in vans. And I was looking at this with a critical eye because understand that living in the United States of America is expensive. And I'm also understanding that people are spending 40 to 50% of their take-home pay to have a roof over their head. And, that's just really rough for a lot of people. The mic is as good as high as it's going to get. It is, it's crazy what's going on with people. You've got all of this information at literally your fingertips. If you've got this, you've got Google in your pocket. And you still have people who are opting out of their standard American life. In spades, you got people who are leaving this. I believe when the recession hits, a lot of people are going to move into the vehicles. I believe that. Because a lot of people, because these are the so-called good times. This is when things are nice, right? And you got a lot of people who are struggling. And it's wild because, the guys were just sitting there. They were talking. And these were older people, late 60s, 70s, 80s. They're singing songs by the campfire. And there seems to be a great deal of friendship and fellowship in the van life community. Because the guy said, I can ask you how many people on your street, your neighbors you really know. You ask me, I'll know dozens of people really well. So it's interesting because one of the things that I don't think people understand is America is like the greatest place on the planet for economic development. And many people have not been told the truth. Like, I don't live at the top of my income. I live on like 6% of my income. And it's not about getting money to flex. It's not getting money to stunt. It's not getting money to lord over anybody. It's getting money to live. Because, I'm just sitting there. How many of y'all have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom? I'm there. And I was sitting there just thinking, if I lived in a van and I didn't have indoor plumbing, I would have to wake up in the middle of the night, go rooting around outside to take a leak. That does not sound attractive to me. It doesn't. So, creature comforts aside, I'm about to hip y'all to something. America is set up right now where you work 15 to 20 years, you could retire in style. That's how America's set up. Seriously, if you have the right information. And a lot of people just don't have the right information. And there was one lady out there who, she was a business owner. She had money in the bank. She sold her stuff. And she just wanted to opt out. I've been watching videos this week of homeless situations in California. It's crazy. I mean, this is a big, big, big issue that we have so many people living in these vans. And to what you was talking about, LaRue, California is the epicenter of homelessness. You got people out here who are living in vans because they feel that's the best choice they can make. Guy had his dog with him. He was talking about, stealth parking. This is something in the van down by the river. Some of them are. I'm ready to buy some cars, put them in my backyard and rent them out. They can shower at the Planet Fitness. That's funny. As someone who has slept in his car for a few weeks, that is some of the worst sleep. It ain't nice. In the Bay Area, people working 20-hour days, multiple jobs, sleeping in their car. Well, the people who are living in RVs and these toy haulers and they got money. These things are anywhere from $150,000 up to $1 million. So the people who are living in those RVs, that's us is totally different than the van life because, I've thought about it. I could live in an RV. You got a king size bed. You got a full bathroom. If you hooked up, you good to go. My father brought us back home to the South in 1989. So the RV crew, because when you're going down the highway and you see these big, beautiful RVs hauling cars and stuff, those are folks with money. Those are folks who have all their creature comforts because these RVs are tricked. They're tricked out. They're doing RVs. They're doing the toy haulers. Because I'm gonna actually show you. Well, I have to set this up, but let me set this up. All right, so let's go. Keep. All right. This is a channel I've been watching. All right, when you see this, that truck is $70,000. When you see this kind of setup, understand they got money. I mean, they do a nice job of filming, but this is like a different crew. They like living on the road, but they have, look at them. They look like middle class America. So this is a different section because a lot of these people made similar decisions. They're like, hey, we're getting out of our house. We're selling the house. But these things, they're not cheap. These RVs, they're like 180 because they've actually traded up a few times. And, you know, this is a whole different class of people. They're not poor any stretch of the imagination. They have money, and some of them, like, I don't know what they do for money, but they still have money coming in because they go ahead and buy whatever they want. They do whatever they want. But you got most folks who are not, they're not in this position, man. They're not in the position because this was by choice for them. They wanted to do this. They didn't have to do it. Because I've been watching them for a while, and, you know, it's a different groove. It's a different different way. And I think they got a power line on top of their toy hauler. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I mean, you know, just watching these things, I can live in something like this because it's got all the comforts of home. It's got 2 bathrooms, king size bed, television, and all this other stuff. So, you know, that really wouldn't be a big problem for me to be living in something like that. But the Sprinter van, you know, like the chick in her snake, I don't know about that. You know, you get these people with these old conversion vans where they're, I don't know. Let's see. Black Caesar. The good thing about living in a van or an RV is no rent, mortgage, or taxes. See, that's one of the things they're trying to get away. I know travel nurses that live out of pretty nice vans. Soon it's going to be Ninja Turtles life, living in the sewers. He cashed out 2 to 1 million properties, came back home, bought some real estate, was a commercial general contractor, but he liked those loose women. The loose women. Oh no, not the loose women. Appliance boot camp. A lot of HOAs no longer allow you to park RVs and campers on your property. They found out family and friends are making them permanent residents. That's something that happens. That's literally a house on the back of a 70K. Pretty much. I can live like that. But the whole Sprinter van, I'm not doing that. Most people don't have enough truck for a real fifth wheel. And that's something else they were talking about. Because that Ford Dually, that sucker will haul anything. The rise in squatting, people are downright bad. I saw a video property owner was getting a house ready to rent, and the squatters swooped in, and it took 6 months to get them out. Wow. Nah, man, I couldn't live in the van. Maxim, there's a lot of chicks with these dudes in these vans. So you got a lot of people out here living this van life. But I'm here to say that with the internet, Google, there is no reason for you to be that ass out. But, a lot of people are. Student loans drove them to live like circus performers. You got all kinds of people out here, man, who are chasing this van life. I was dating this girl, and her guy at the nail salon lives in his van. He got a Huggy Bear van. Honey bum, and then again, as a single woman, I'm meeting a lot of guys in their 40s in roommate situations. Well, part of the thing is if you are in possession of the correct information, the first thing you got to do is handle your money correctly. That's the first thing you got to do. Oh, the van life has been going on for 6 months. Lots of Instagram. Oh, no. This has been going on for years. This thing is the van life, living in Sprinter vans, living in converted school buses, RVs. It's these people just, there's two groups of people in the van life, an RV move. There's the folks with money who are living in these fifth wheels, these tricked out RVs. They have all the comforts of home. Those are a minority, and the majority of them just hanging on by like a thumbnail or something. Well, the hippies did lived in the vans because as a kid of the 70s, tricking out a custom van was something special. In walk, I don't think it's the drive. I don't think these people have the right knowledge. And, since I've moved to different dating sites, this roommate situation for both sexes is crazy. Eric Wiz, I feel like one good strong winter will knock most van lifers out. They too poor to go back in, man. Oh yeah, they're let me show you another one. All right, so you got this other one. There's a lot this channel that showed them man, they be putting some clickbait stuff up here. Got her naked and stuff. They had this one thing where they were dancing. But this is another big thing to do. They started off of in New York, and they documented when they got the van, what they did to the van, how much it cost to set it all up. They got dogs. All right, show them working out. Okay. So they converted the school bus into this RV camper. No wonder this video has 2.5 million views. And they did it last summer. All you need to do is show YouTube just a little hint of TNA. Just a little bit. So, you got converted school buses. You got a lot of this stuff that's going on. A lot of it. So it's because I've been studying this for a few years, and it's more and more people who are going for this van life. All right, shot. Oh yeah, these RVs can go up to $1 million, man. See, that's a whole different crew of people. Engineer Life Skills bought 20 acres, got a letter from my neighbor's attorney threatening a lawsuit if I subdivide the property and add mobile homes, van lifers. Good Lord, they coming after you? I followed a YouTuber that did 1 year, went back to Florida and got roommates. That's crazy. I think it depends upon the person and how much they've rejected social norms. Because some people have been on the road for years. And, just like, me, I got to go up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. That ain't going to work in the van. And there's just certain other little things about living in the van that's just not going to work for me. Will Merlin, whenever I see a young van life girl, I always think she must be a heavy drug user. There are too many social safety nets for women for them to be in the van. No, man, it ain't like that no more. See, this is something that's happened. A lot of women have been cast to the wolves. Used to be, baby girl, I take care of you. Mid-toe, red pill. Let that trick fall. No, man. So, a lot of women don't have those social safety nets they used to. I wonder if you could do Airbnb of campers, RVs, and yachts. So, houseboats, all that stuff you can put on an Airbnb. So this is where we are because a lot of people just don't have the right information. You do something strange for some change before you live on the streets, okay? Man, it ain't like it used to be for women. The sugar daddies are not around. I get it's cheaper from the Rockies, but they're cheaper and expensive in other facts. Safety, convenience, and sustainability. Because for the hardcore people I watched for a few years who lived in these vans, they just committed to the lifestyle. But for these old folks, there's one dude, he had a stroke, all this other stuff, and he was living in his van with a dog. You got a lot of people who are doing this. Yep, they will sue. They're suing my other neighbor for $100K due to lost property value. That's what got me. Good Lord. These some gangster landowners. So, essentially a lot of people just don't have the right information. They're not in the know of having the right information, because every night I'm putting up, a piece of 30 days to 2,500. If you just did a few things, like number one, manage your money well. Because this whole thing of living at the top of your income is over. There are not the safety nets there used to be. So you really need to be living on 30% of your income max. And this includes mortgage. This includes cars, everything, 30% max. I live on like 7%, 6% of my income. You don't want to be living at the top of your income. When it's rolling, you want to put money away into investment grade assets. You want to get yourself some property. You want to get yourself some investments, because, one of the things with the fire movement, I watched these guys literally do this in 10 years by being extremely segmented with their income. And that's going to be a big and very important part of this. Good Lord. You will have a zipper on your lick and black pots going with. Good Lord, y'all are going crazy in there. But it's really about money management and being taught not to become a slave to the credit system. BK from the Buckets and Rockets, been a lot of the state government and local HOAs and covenants that have been limiting minimalist living facilities in tiny houses and RV vans. I'm not shocked, because this is a very big thing. I know an older couple that's living in the fifth wheel behind their son's house. They pull it once a month to Walmart, hoping the HOA doesn't notice them. Man, because the thing is, like, let's say you're 30 years old and you get the right financial information. You understand that you need to manage the money that you're making very, very well. Then you also understand you need to make more money. And you need to take that additional money and put it in investments, because this is something a lot of people can do if they became financially thrifty and they start, putting their money towards investments, because you can, I'm watching how these guys are getting 10, 15, 18 houses in a year, and they're using the combination of private money and creative financing. Gonna Dan. I'm not ready for that either. I know some of these folks are ready for the zombie apocalypse. I'll be up in this house with my shotgun. Shoot him in the head. Bam. That's what I'll be doing. But it's really not complicated. The execution is hard. But if you save your money You manage it well, and let's say you get 3 rentals. You get 3 pieces of property that pull in $1,500 a month. That's $4,500. You can make it live in that. You can make it work in that McDonald's with $4,500 coming in. Anybody that prefer minimalist lifestyle and living on less any day. I'm living on about 35% of my income, paying off the last of my student loans. That's the big key. Avoiding the American debt trap. Engineer, they consist of covenants are more restrictive than house. They got one guy inspecting garbage cans to check for hazardous waste. Man, part of this is the 9.9%. The 9.9% are people who are well-to-do, and they're coming up with all this stuff in names of protecting their property values. You got to make more money, Laura New. You got to make more money because, see, once you get the money management aspect down, once you get that down, then you start adding more money to it. It'll start stacking, and then you could go out and do some stuff. Black Caesar, you're funny. But this is, because I'm looking at this because, we got the millennials who are moving toward van life. We've got elderly people. We've got 2 huge demographics who are moving to this alternative lifestyle. And they're moving there in droves. They're moving there in droves. And this is going to change the American landscape. Because, I'm seeing in the comments that these covenants, that the 9.9%, they're not going to let you roll up in here with your Sprinter vans. They're going to protect their property values. They're going to sue you. They're going to do certain things. And you got a lot of people who are living this alternative lifestyle. You got a lot of them who are living in vans. That's why, the girl with the snake, she blew up. Van life was the key word. And, she has a personality and stuff. But you got people out here. So, once again, instead of, retiring, let's talk about this concept. You should be stacking. You should be stacking assets because your goal, minimum, everybody should have 3 rentals. Minimum 3. Because depending on where you are, that's going to be like $2,500. Or, if you're in LA, 3 rentals is like 10 G's. 3 rentals. Get yourself some investments. Because when times are good, when times you can stack, this is the time to get this stuff. Well, they could be nomads, but it's a weird part of American culture. BK from the Rockies. The waste from off-grid living has been the basis for a lot of rules and regulations directed to minimalist living. They want to manage the waste. Most of these vehicles don't have sanitation. Hey, people, when they get to the basic element of humanity, people be taking a dump in the middle of the street and not covering it up. You can get a 4-unit with a VA loan. I mean, this is the way to go, because if you have the right information, you will not have to do van life. You will be able to live how you want to live, have money that's coming in. Because, see, this is the thing. Like, retirement is a flawed concept to me. Retirement, get a bunch of money, stack it up, Well, people are living to be 100 years old. They're outliving their money. So go ahead and get you some investments that provide monthly income forever. And, a lot of people are going to be making that move. I'm in the real estate group. One of the investors there has one property renting out 6 rooms in California, bringing in $6,500 a month on that one property. Boarding houses, man. If you can deal with the riffraff and all the trash, hey, they just have one bed. But this is a big part of American life right now. Van life. Someone said they're bringing boarding houses back. Boarding houses never left. They just made boarding houses sexy. There was this communal living place in California where essentially you just got a bed and some space to store your little stuff. Apparently the landowners, the settled people, don't like them and don't want to keep. Well, everybody hates poor people. I believe it was they said the first person they estimate to live would be 150. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people who are born recently will hit 100. Retirement is no such thing. You need active income because, right, many of these van life people are poor, and nobody likes poor people. Like the guy sitting on the cardboard asking for some change. You may feel pity for him, but you don't want to take this dude home for dinner. Jabras, there are companies building customized Sprinter vans. Oh, it's a big thing. It's a big thing because they like to talk about their bills, how they're upgrading, how they're getting more. And one of the things that is happening is you're getting a lot of people who are moving in toward this van life thing, and they're getting stuck. They're getting stuck living that lifestyle. But once again, if you have the right information, you don't have to worry about van life approaching you, being a problem. You don't have to worry about it because you'll have your 3 rentals, you'll have your stock portfolio, you will have your long-term business model, you will have active earned income coming in every year, every month. And that's where you want it to be. You don't have to do this, but many people feel that they have to do it because they get in a jam and they sit here on YouTube and they watch these people. And a lot of people really sell van life as, oh, it's the best thing ever. I don't think it's the best thing ever. You up in Canada, it's 20 degrees below zero, and you got to go outside and take a leak. I don't think that's the best life. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't want to be around poor people. And this is what these van life people represent. Like the people who are driving the fancy RVs, the fifth wheels, the tour hop, they get treated like royalty. But you don't have to go to the van life. You don't have to be living like that. There's so many people who are living that way. There are so many people who are embracing that lifestyle with a little understanding of you're an American. You have this economic system that is crazy, that can literally make you a millionaire in 4 to 10 years, give you more money than you need so you can live your life. You can live your best version of your life. And a lot of people just don't have this information. They feel that you need to know somebody, you have to inherit money, and it's simply not true. And when a person becomes older and they get set in their ways, I mean, I want you to think about this. You living in a van at 65, 70 years old. Oh, Johnny Walton, I remember that too. You're going to be this old person living in a van with your dog. This is one of the things that's happening right now. Because people don't understand how the monetary system works. They don't understand how the stock market works. They don't understand how business works. They don't understand. And the people out here in these RVs, in these fifth wheel haulers, they understand that. Because that enabled them to do that. I know of one guy, I think he was 32 when he bought his RV. Because he sold his company, got millions of dollars, and just got an RV and went crazy. So understand that you can go to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, drop a few little ducats, and get information that could change your life. Tomorrow, Thursday, I'll start the sale again. And you got the first key to everything is controlling your money. That is the principal key. You got to control your money. You got to control your spending. You want to live well within your means. And then you want to take the excess dollars and put them into investments. And that's how you escape the rat race. Because, like the stream this morning, I'm still thinking about, Airbnb, but I got to be careful. Black Caesar, I couldn't do no more than 2 days without washing my ass, let alone weeks, months, and years. Every time I get a whiff of a homeless guy. Man, the human condition is malleable. And, when you get these homeless people, you get these van life people who are living this alternative lifestyle, they go past that. They get into that because you're living in a van, so already culturally and socially, you're different. And with that comes these things you talk about. Because, every time I see one of these van life videos and they pull out this little composting toilet, I'm like, negative. I don't want to use that. I want the porcelain. Give me the water and stuff. I know that a lot of these people are ready for the zombie apocalypse, but I'm not trying to join them. I mean, once you're in possession of the right knowledge, you won't ever be thinking about no van life. You might be thinking about RV life. Like, hey, it might be fun to do that. Because you got the money to roll in style. Because rolling in these RVs is not cheap. They're using that diesel. I think they get 9, 10 miles to the gallon. And they be rolling hard. They be rolling fast. They be rolling deep. So, take it upon yourself to study this channel and familiarize yourself with economic principles, because you don't want to be living in a Sprinter van when you're 75 years old. Because, they say it's their choice, and I don't think it's their choice. They was forced by economics. Yeah, cash flow, because the thing is, one of the things that I'm teaching is versus trying to, race really quickly to get this set sum of money, go ahead and create yourself some income producing assets. Because the thing is, like, say you're 55 years old and you get your first rental and you buy a house every year until you're 65. You set for retirement. You got 10 houses. You good to go. Sounds like people who built bomb shelters and no bombs ever came. Man, you just made me remember all these folks who had these bomb shelters in their yard. Well, they were actually for tornadoes too, these bunkers. But go ahead, study economic principle, get your business going, manage your money very well. Rent a place from a church pastor. Pastor told me to call the cops on anyone sleeping in their car. No one likes poor people. No one cares that you work 18 hours a day for 5 days and fell asleep in your car. They don't care. You sleeping in your car, you must be a bum. You must be someone that's just slack. Got all kind of slack in their line. And it ain't true. But once again, you act poor, you'll be treated poor. All right, so that was it. That's all I wanted to talk about. You guys can direct yourself to the information on the video. We got a lot of payment plans for these courses. So there's a way for you to get in and not crush your pockets. So with that, I'll see you guys later.